Hello, welcome back to our course on squeezes. This is part 2, and this tells you what you'd like to happen or like to own for a squeeze to take place. But first we have to begin with some more terminology, so let's move on to that. One of the two threats that you own needs to be accompanied by a winner, and that winner is there to act as an entry. And the reason you need that is because you have two hands and you're trying to use both of them in the squeeze. So the only way you can get across from one hand to the other is to have an entry. And for technical reasons, which will become obvious later on, that entry must be with one of the threats. So that's something you need. Entry, of course, in red, a term you're going to see time and time again. And that means in turn that you're going to have two different types of threats. One of them, the one that's with the entry, I'm going to always refer to as the entry threat. And the other one, I couldn't think of a good term for it, but I need to refer to it quite often. So my term for it is the single threat, the threat which is on its own sum without the ability to get to and fro between the two hands. And some more terminology. The opponents, of course, need cards to beat your threats. Otherwise, there wouldn't be threats. They'd be winners, even better. And we have to give names for those just so I can refer to them. So I shall call their cards which can beat our threats guards. Not everybody's term. Some people call them cover cards, but that's the term I'll be using. And of course, in the entry suit, the guard that they have must have another card with it. That's because you have a winner, the entry, as well as the threat. So they have to have the guard and another card that stops you playing off your winner and so dropping the threat. So I'll refer to that card when I have to as the support card for the guard in the entry suit. Okay, well, with those defined, I can now tell you what we need for a successful simple squeeze, and it's these three things. First of all, as I've said, you need two threats. One of them must be with an entry, so you can get across from one hand to the other, and the third one is you have to be lucky. Now, we all need to be lucky, but I mean lucky in a very specific sense here. I mean lucky in the sense that the guards are, both of them, are owned by one opponent only. They mustn't be shared, one with a hand on your left, one with a hand on your right. It's got to be one person who's looking after both of the guards. And actually this is bad news, because if one person has one of the guards, well, actually it's slightly more likely that the other person has the other. So squeezes are somewhat less than a 50-50 chance. A priori, of course, you may learn things from the bidding, you may learn things from the play, you often do, which tell you a squeeze is actually going to be effective. But sort of in abstract, don't expect squeezes to occur more often than finesses. Finesses are more likely to occur and more likely to be successful. Opponent who's got both of those guards is said to be busy. So a busy opponent is one looking after all of your troublesome they're troublesome to you guard cards, and he's the guy or she's the person that we are fixated on as we perform the squeeze. So in the next overhead, no, not overhead, in the next video, I'll actually show you a typical squeeze ending and show you how it works so that the squeeze applies pressure and produces the extra winner. Hope to see you then in video 3. Bye for now.